Welcome back. It's music time now. SBO GYRE, an artist who proudly identifies as the Jackpot of All Trades, has been making waves in the music scene with his blend of genres and profound lyrics. With a unique style that defies categorization, it brings about a fresh perspective on topics such as queerness, spirituality and existentialism. Their collaboration with producer Audio Addicts on the upcoming single Ukhethe Mina promises to elevate these conversations further, continuing the exploration initiated in the sophomore project Altar Call. The musician joins us now for more. Very good morning to SBO. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
What an introduction. I like whoever's writing. That's only paycheck.
Dude, I love the energy.
No, I'm ready. How
you just reinvigorated us.
Perfect. No, perfect. It's a good day. It's a good day.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Let's talk about yourself and your music industry, how you started and, what you bring to the music industry.
I mean, so I'm predominantly known as a rapper. Because I started out as a rapper with my debut project Queerness, which was telling the tale of a black queer man in South Africa at the time. Okay, but let me grow a bit, and I grew up and my spirituality came into being, and I found God again after I divorced God and I divorced myself from God because of my spirituality, because of my sexuality, until I realized, no, actually, my sexuality is what has brought me closer to God. So let me accentuate that in my music. So I made sure that I spoke about those kinds of topics. One of my favorite lyrics that I say is, hands up in the sky, praise the Lord, and then I vogue. Little things like that speak about the power of how, I'm lifting my hands, it's something spiritual. The voguing is a queerness because it's all a part of it. It's about intertwining all that sonically and in narrative in order to speak a different kind of idea and articulate a different kind of idea of what queerness is in the modern day. Right.
Yeah. And how much of those issues find expression in your music generally?
Yeah, generally, I can't hide it. I can't run away from it. At some point, I tried to do something where I was completely far away from myself, from my queerness, my identity, my God. Just make poom, let the girls twerk and have some fun. And I'm like, girl, no. You gotta say something, my girl.
Right.
So it always comes out whether I want it or not. And I think it's important to, because, as artists, it's important to be didactic in our art, at least for me, and speak towards the time. No matter how tough the conversation might be, we're here to break barriers because ours is a malleable a platform in order to transmit change and create social buy-in, which is the biggest game changer with regards to queerness in South Africa and, of course, the world.
I'm actually glad you talk of, the social buy-in with regards to queerness. And what does your queerness mean to you? And would you say that you use your music, you use your craft to raise some of these issues?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, my queerness for me is a point of empowerment. I always ask people, why do you think God made you queer? And I'm like, I think God made me queer because I had to break boundaries. I know that I'm a very different person. I identify as an entertainment specialist. I'm in sports. I'm in everything else. And it matters to me because I want to break, and it's important to break those conventions that people have thought are true to what queerness is and take it to the next level. And also, I believe in the mantra that existence is resistance. You know what I mean? So I believe it's important to just be. And by being, I'll be able to transmit that I need to transmit. For instance, the song that I did with Audio Addicts, and shout out to LTO of Mafikeng, who we worked together for Altar Call as well. It was important for us to be able to just cut through everything and speak to people as people, and so you'll hear with Ukhethe Mina, I'll perform later, that is very, you wouldn't tell that I'm talking about something that's particularly towards queerness or anything else. Sure. It could just be about anything, like anybody else. It speaks about purpose. But that's the power of art,
Yeah.
If the girl's got the pen, the girl's gonna write.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And how does Ukhethe Mina expand on the themes that have been encapsulated in Altar Call?
Yeah. So Altar Call dealt with the idea of embodying a change that comes to you as a person, right? Yeah. And Ukhethe Mina is the next step with regards to that, which is heeding the call, right? Okay. And heeding the call means accepting what God says to you. It came to me in a moment of struggle where, unfortunately, a family member had passed on, took their own life, and I was there and I had to be a part of it and I had to assist in sorting it out. And I remember my dad was like, which means we need a strong man. Mind you, at that moment, I was like, what's going on? I'm like, am I the strong man, God? And I was a strong man. In 3 seconds, I had the poo. Then I was like, no, Ukhethe Mina, Lord, let's go. And I rock, and I became the man that I am right now.
Right,
which is transcends my queerness, that transcends my blackness, transcends everything, even though it's still rooted in that.
So basically, Ukhethe Mina is a reflection of your personal life, right?
It's a reflection of personal life, purpose, and accepting that. Because, you know, sometimes you're like, God, why would you give me this fate, girl? When did you write the script? Angels, did you read this? You know? And it's like, okay, no, I see the purpose. Maybe let's give it some time, and it'll all make sense.
You know, Sbo, I can't imagine the pressure that you're going through in terms of, you know, there are those critics who are saying that you can't mix queerness and God. Like you can't have queerness and God in one sentence. But there you are, so boldly and doing that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, God is queer in my eyes, you know, because queer means other. And God, as much as we're made in God's image, we are nothing like God, which means we're queer, we're different. You know what I mean? So my existence and every other queer existence is just a manifestation of that. The same way as a heterosexual person, you might be a particular way, but you're not like everybody else. You know, we don't exist in binaries. We exist in the multiplicity of life, and God is the multiple. God is the never-ending, the omnipotence. Yo, No, so yeah, I boldly claim it. You know, like I'm so grateful that God has made me who I am, and that I can speak like this and understand it to be more, because people need to understand it more. Because I think, speaking of social bind, the biggest problem people have with queerness is that they don't humanize our existence, right? So the moment that you bring your spirituality and your queerness into one, you immediately humanize the body, regardless of whether a person chooses to let their bigotry stand against them or ahead of them. You know, so for me, it's even gone past the point of bravery. It's like, well, this is just who I am, girl. So are you going to accept it? Or am I going to have to be a Targaryen and say, look, Harris? You know?
All right. Lovely chatting to you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And for those who want to get in touch with you, to book you and, you know, just buy your music, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, favorite word, book. Let's book the girl. GYRE_SA. That's GYRE_SA in all social media. Gyre, bookings for all bookings. Check it out. Queer pride, queer love, and also just pride, guys. Like, let's love ourselves. Let's enjoy ourselves. Remember that you don't have to represent everyone. Represent those who feel represented by you. And spread some love. Stream me, girl. Stream.
Absolutely. All right. So, well, lovely chatting to you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time. Well, that was SBO GYRE talking to us about the new single, Ukhethe Mina. Well, they'll be performing the single later on.